Hello and welcome to Myths and Misconceptions, a series of short podcasts talking about social care jobs. We'll be joined by Alison and Neil to answer some questions about what it's really like to get a job in social care in Scotland.
Hello, I'm Alison and I'm joined by my colleague Neil to answer some questions about what it's really like to get a job and work in social care in Scotland. We're going to be looking at some myths and misconceptions and talking about the realities of working in social care. The first thing that we're going to talk about is who can work in social care and the qualifications and experience needed. One of the things we hear people say is that they think that you need a health background or a qualification in health and social care to get a job in social care. Is that true, Neil?
Not quite, Alison. Social care is one sector where you can do most of your training while you're on the job. So you do need qualifications in the end, but you can gain them over several years in the job. You don't have to have any particular background to be successful in social care during the application process. Most people don't have any qualifications in social care when they start. So, for example, some people come straight out of school, others come from other sectors, and there are others who come from periods of maybe unemployment or career breaks. And these can all make great support workers. It's really a job about people. You're there to enable the people you support to live their lives the way that they want to. And it's more about what you are like as a person than what you know or what you have done before. We can teach you skills, for example, how to write a support plan, maybe how to lift someone safely, or who needs what medication and when. What we can't teach you, though, is your own personal values, such as believing that everyone should be able to make their own choices about their life, enjoying getting to know people and spending time with them, building trust, working with respect, treating people with dignity, having warmth, being friendly, and overall being patient and handling difficult situations without getting frustrated. These are things that you can talk about in a social care job application. It doesn't all have to be about work experience. Also, you can discuss experiences looking after your own family or supporting a friend through a difficult time or organising a group. Recently, we had a quote from a provider that said, "When we're recruiting, what's on someone's CV has almost zero to do with it." And another quote from another provider said, "People don't realise how much we value your ordinary life experiences." Mostly, what we're trying to do is give people we support the experience of an ordinary life.
Thanks, Neil. That's helpful to know that you can apply for social care without any experience or qualifications. But we hear a lot about not being able to work in social care if you have a previous conviction. Is it true that you can't work in social care if you have a criminal record?
So, a lot of the time, they can. There are only a few of the most serious offences that would bar someone from working in the social care sector. So, before you can work in social care, we have to do a background check with Disclosure Scotland. This shows any unspent previous convictions that you may have. It's not about passing or failing this check. Disclosure Scotland just pass on any information they hold about you to the employer. Disclosure Scotland holds a list of individuals who have been barred from working with children and or vulnerable adults. If you're on one of those lists, you would already know about it. So, assuming you're not listed, it's the employer that will make the decision about whether or not to offer you a job and whether there are any risks that they need to think about if they do. But what really matters is the conversation. If you do have a previous conviction, it's important to discuss this openly and honestly with the prospective employer. It's better for it to come from you at the beginning than come up later. Social care employers are used to having these kinds of conversations, and having a previous conviction doesn't mean you'll be ruled out or treated badly.
Again, that's really helpful to know, Neil, that there are fewer barriers to working in social care when you've got a criminal record than people probably thought. But the other thing I see a lot in my local area are social care workers who are in the community and they're all in cars and driving around. So do you have to have a car or at least be able to drive to have a job in social care?
So it is true that social care providers are often looking for drivers, especially in rural areas. And that can be attractive, the chance to be out and about and travelling between people's homes rather than in the same place all day. However, it's not essential that you have a car or you have a driver's license to come and work in social care, because there are so many variations of how services can take place. So they can be place-based services, so that's maybe supported living, care homes or day centres, and non-place-based services, which are care at home and housing support. At a place-based service, a commute might be shorter because services are often based in the areas people already live. And if you're applying to a non-place-based job, you're going to be more mobile. But in urban areas, it may be possible or even better to do some of the more mobile jobs on public transport, such as working in central Glasgow or in Edinburgh.
That's very helpful to know. So as a job coach, when you're speaking to prospective workers, don't rule them out too easily. Some of the reasons people rule themselves out are not actually barriers. In general, if people are interested in a job in social care, encourage them to apply. Employers will take all of the circumstances of their application into consideration. In the next episode, we'll be looking at why people should be interested in working in social care.
You've been listening to Myths and Misconceptions, a podcast by the Coalition of Care and Support Providers in Scotland, with music by Melody Loops and content contributed by social care providers from across the third sector.